Guys, on this channel, I talk a lot about how the inner world leads to the outer world. And what that means is you have to believe that something will come to pass before you see it. And so in this video, I want to go over how you can start to believe it before you see it. And this is a secret that has been hidden for generations by the 1%, by people who know how the universe works. And this information is now starting to be revealed in the mainstream thanks to many different outlets like the internet and so on. And I want to share it with you so that you can start actually manifesting the things you want in your life and to start actually having the life that you want. So let's get into it. That's coming up next. Hi guys, my name is Dave and this is HeartSpace. And if you haven't been here before, we release videos every single day to help you live life more in a free way. Now to me, that means being able to have control of your own schedule, do the things that expand you, help you evolve, help you grow on a daily basis. So if that sounds good to you, you want videos that are going to help you do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell icon. So a lot of people like to say that seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. I won't believe something until I see it. Yet this is one of the most detrimental belief systems that you could ever develop, because it is proven now, even within science, it actually has been for almost a generation, that there are so many things within our reality that you cannot see, yet make up the fabric of our very physical existence and our physical reality. And so if you come from the mindset of, well, what I see is, I only believe what I see, then you are limiting yourself to 99.9% of the things you can't see yet are in existence. And they say that 99.9% of the universe is empty space. You can't see it. You can't perceive it with your 5 physical senses, but that does not mean it doesn't exist. And so if you're coming from the paradigm of I'll believe it when I see it, you are limiting your life. You are limiting what you can do. You are limiting the things you can tap into that are your human godly right to tap into. And so if you do have that belief, I really would recommend listening all the way through to this video, and hopefully I can help you shift that belief into something that's going to serve you a lot more than the old archaic Newtonian belief system of seeing is believing. Guys, before we get into it though, I want you to put in the comments, I know that everything I want will come into my physical reality. And again, we write things like this in order to rewire our brain to take some action towards a new belief system. And you're going to find out in this video, your belief systems are incredibly important. Like I was saying, the seeing is believing belief system is a very limited belief system. And so we want to shift that into a more expansive belief system. But write that down below. Again, it helps you take action in this direction. I'll have something come across so that you can see it written out so you know what to do. Anyway, guys, again, how can we go then from someone who's seeing is believing mentality to believing first and you will see it? Now, I come from experience in this realm too, because I was actually a staunch atheist not even that long ago, just a few years ago. I would have come from the mindset that I'll believe it when I see it. I need physical evidence. I need all of this different kind of stuff. And it was only through doing more and more research, understanding more of the ideas that were out there, my own experiences in life and weighing that against my belief systems, that I came to the conclusion that, holy crap, that isn't the case. Seeing is not believing. There are so many things we cannot perceive with our 5 senses, yet are in existence and are having incredible influence over our lives. And to be ignorant of these processes only hurts me in the long run. And when you actually become aware of these processes and how they work, you realize, wow, I can use them, and it's actually intended for me to use them in order to live a beautiful life, a life that I want to live, a life where I get to expand, evolve in divine order, that I get to expand and experience, which I really truly do believe that is what we are here to do. And here's the crazy thing, guys. If you change your beliefs about reality itself, your reality will shift. And it doesn't work the other way around. You know, you can see numerous examples of this, of people who just literally all they do, they are not doing anything in their physical reality. They're not like hammering the walls and trying to shift all of this stuff, you know, matter trying to move matter. They are simply changing their internal belief systems. And through doing that, their physical reality starts to shift. When you start changing your belief systems about the fabric of how reality works, when you start changing your belief systems to things that actually will serve you and bring the things you want into your life, reality actually starts to match that to you. You start to actually attract the things you start to believe about reality. If you believe in Newtonian physics and that, you can never do anything beyond that, that there are certain laws in the physical realm and there's nothing beyond that, you will live life from that realm and you will never go beyond that. But if you believe in the metaphysical, again, which has been proven, there is information to prove that this is the case, the metaphysical realm where things happen instantaneously, the realm that actually makes up the fabric of the physical realm, that the inner produces the outer, that the metaphysical realm is what leads to the physical realm. When you actually come from that belief system, you'll then start getting the results that come from believing in that system. Yet both work. You're allowed to believe in whichever you want. And you can see examples of both playing out in everyone's lives. If you believe in just the physical world, you get the results of just the physical world. If you believe in the metaphysical world and you see the information in that and you go, wow, this is true, and you start doing the things that people like me and others are saying you can do in that realm, which will influence your physical world, they're seeing the results of that. And so if you can actually just change your beliefs about how reality works, you will change your life. And if you can, again, come from this belief system that the things I do inwardly, the things I do from a metaphysical perspective will influence my physical perspective, you are going to shift things incredibly quickly because things happen so much faster at the metaphysical level. Things, again, happen instantaneously. And there are even scientific experiments now to back this up. There's so much information about the quantum realm, about the metaphysical realm, that is pretty much indisputable at this point. And materialism has actually really been disproven as a valid worldview, with idealism now being the main worldview that is accepted even in the scientific realm. So the first thing, again, to understand, to put this in simple terms, because I'm throwing a lot of different just jargon at you, is that the inner world leads to the outer world. And that's what we're talking about here, that believing something before seeing it. And that's the only way it works. Even people who don't believe in this, who don't believe that they have to believe it and then they see it, they're still in that process. They still believe certain things and then they're seeing it in their physical reality, but it just ends up being confirmation bias, where they're like, the world is just a negative place. And then they see all the negativity in the world. Why? Because they believe that. And then they start seeing it. But why is it someone couldn't look at the world and have a different belief about it? Like, the world is a beautiful place. There's so many great people in the world doing great things, and then they only see that. Why? Because they believe that first, and then they will see it in the physical realm if they focus on that long enough. The universe will flow consistently to what you focus on the most. So if for 90% of the time you're focusing on the negative, the universe is going to show you the negative, or the things, confirmation bias, on what you're believing. But use confirmation bias, use that kind of thing in order to confirm the positive things in the universe, in order to confirm that what you think will be manifest in physical reality. Use that, find validation in that. Something my mentor told us, Peter Sage, I'll just give his name, said is look for those signs to confirm what we're learning here, so that you can train your brain and start looking out for it, so that you can see that this is a possibility, that this is true. He said, look out for those signs, look out for those synchronicities, look out for the validation of these ideas, because then you will start to experience it more and more and more. So keep in mind that your external reality, everything you see around you, reflects your inner belief patterns, your inner belief system, the way you view the world, the way you view reality. I said this a lot, but if you have a beautiful inner garden, we'll call it, so an inner mind garden, your subconscious is just this beautiful, lush rainforest or garden that you've cultivated, you've planted the seeds of good thoughts and goodwill and all these different things, it is impossible for your environment to not be matching that, or to not eventually match that. It's just impossible. By law, it has to happen. If you look at my environment right now, for example, because of the belief systems I have cultivated, I live in an incredibly beautiful place. I am financially independent. Again, none of this is to brag or anything like that. This is to give you an example of how this works. My belief system is of positivity, is of opulence and abundance and health and all of these things, and ease. And when I look at my external reality, it reflects that. I have inner belief systems of love. I have inner belief systems that I am abundant, that I am free, that I am living life on my terms. I have these inner belief systems that life doesn't have to be hard, that it's easy, that I'm always evolving, that I'm always growing. And boom, look at my external reality, and it is reflecting those exact belief systems. I am getting the physical equivalent of the belief systems I have been cultivating over time, of the fruits of the inner garden I have been growing for a while now. And I can compare this to how my inner garden used to be, my inner belief systems used to be, and how my physical reality used to be. My physical reality used to be I was in a retail job I absolutely hated. I was in environments with people I did not want to be around. I was living at home with my parents in the basement. That was my physical reality. And if you looked at my inner garden at that point, my inner belief system, you would be like, oh, it makes total sense that your physical reality is this stuff. I was incredibly negative. I had a victim mentality. I had a why me? This is not fair. And it was only when I started shifting that inner garden, those inner fruits, those inner seeds and plants, I de-weeded my inner garden. I de-weeded my inner world and started planting new seeds for new plants, that my external world started to change. And that is the idea of inner to outer. Think of your inner world like a garden, like a forest of your own making. What would you put in that forest? What would you want in that garden? Would you want weeds? Would you want things like thorns that are just going to poke you and prod you and scrape you as you're going through your own garden? Or do you want an abundance of delicious fruits? Do you want incredible trees that you can sit under in the shade? Do you want just an incredibly beautiful garden? I mean, I know which one I want, and I know which one I'm growing, and I would assume you want the beautiful garden as well, and it is actually your choice. In the book, As a Man Thinketh, he talks about this too, the garden of the inner mind. And he talks about, you get to choose what you plant there with your thoughts. Thoughts being the seeds of your garden, because your thoughts are what, if you repeat them long enough, are what are going to lead to your beliefs. And so if you plant thoughts of opulence and wealth, you're going to get these incredible plants, these pumpkins, these pineapple trees, these incredible trees, these healthy, just amazing, lush garden. But if you give thoughts and plant seeds of just lack and poverty and poor me and victim mentality, you're going to get weeds, you're going to get nettles, you're going to get thorns, you're going to get, even barren just garden. And what it says in As a Man Thinketh is you can only get from nettles. If you plant corn, you're going to get corn. And so it is up to you what you plant in this garden. It is up to you the thoughts you put into your internal reality that then lead to your beliefs, which then lead to your external reality. Inner to outer, but you get to choose those seeds, those thoughts. That's why it's so important to really learn how to control your thoughts and choose your thoughts. And I have a video going over how to think more positively, which I'll link down below, which is going to help you with that. But it's why it's so important to think positively, or think in the way that you want to think that actually serves you. And guys, just to leave you with one last idea, is just to remember that like energy attracts like energy. Birds of a feather flock together. And there's a reason for this. You cannot attract something on a frequency that you are not currently on. And again, this is not just some woo-woo stuff. This is scientifically shown, that things operate in waves, on frequencies, in different energies. And if you're on an energy that's on lack, because you're transmitting that energy out into the universe, you're transmitting that energy into your belief patterns, it has only one option: to give you more of that. Like energy attracts like energy. It's why you can see someone who is incredibly wealthy just become wealthier and wealthier and wealthier, because they're on that frequency. And someone who is poor or doesn't have a lot of money and always never has money, they get money and they lose it right away, because that's the frequency they're on. But guys, just like you can shift the channel on a radio, you can shift your frequency. And the way you shift your frequency is by changing your thoughts, is changing the seeds you're putting into your garden. And you're doing this whether you know it or not. Regardless of whether you want to believe this or whether you're aware of it, or you don't know what you don't know, you're doing this either way. So why not do it in a way that actually serves you and leads to the external environment, the life that you actually want to live? All right, guys, so I hope that has been helpful to you. Let me know if you want more videos like this. I love making these types of videos where I'm just riffing and I'm just going and I'm just moving, you know, just saying everything from my heart and putting it out on the table, all out on the table for you. As always, guys, I love you, and I will see you in the next video.